This mini 3D Christmas tree ornament is so cute and simple to make. You're going to want to make several for your tree in your home. It's Nicole here from BOCHIKNOT Macrame. In this video, we are going to be expanding on our Christmas ornament series with a mini 3D Christmas tree ornament. I love these little Christmas trees not only because they are 3D and look super cute, but they were so much fun to make. We'll be making 3 layers of the tree with a knotted pattern, then we'll make a tree stump with some crown knots, and then we're gonna weave some cords through, glue some ends together to put it all together into a Christmas tree ornament. If you're looking for something adorable and charming for the holiday season, this is the project for you. And without further ado, let's jump right in. For the materials we will be using for these mini trees is an army green braided cord. This is a new color we had just released. Perfect for Christmas time, for making Christmas trees, Christmas ornaments, etc, etc. And we also have this coffee brown color that we're going to use for the stump of the tree. I love using these braided cords because even though they are sturdy, we didn't add a separate strand inside the braided cord so that it could be more flexible and easier to use. It would have been super sturdy had we inserted a separate strand into the braided cords, which is what a lot of the braided cords you see out there do. So we just carry hollow braided cords for flexibility and ease of use, and it's still a nice soft texture on your hands. If you are learning macrame, you can never go wrong with braided cords because they are great to learn with. Okay, so another thing you will need for the tree is a small little gold bead. So this is also a new limited edition product. We had gold star beads in the past, but the holes were a little bit smaller. So I was able to source these beads with holes that are a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna quickly measure it. Sorry, my measuring tape is broken, so I'm just gonna, so it's approximately 5 millimeters in diameter. And this is great if you're using 3 millimeter cord, or if you're using 4 millimeter hollow braided cord. Because there's nothing inside, it actually, when you knot it, it works more like a 3 millimeter cord. Because it's just the outer shell that has cord. So if you actually twist it tightly, it actually becomes the width of 3 millimeter cord. So you're still able to thread through 2 strands of this 4 millimeter hollow braided cord through the hole. 2 strands of 3 millimeter cord will work for this hole as well. Or if you're just threading through a single strand of cord through the hole, you can go up to 5 millimeters since it's a 5 millimeter hole. For this mini tree ornament, we're going to make 3 separate layers, and then at the end we are going to weave them together into a tree. So to start off with the first layer, we are going to take a 65 centimeter long cord. We're going to place it down horizontally, and then we're just going to tape one end down. Taking a second cord, this time at 110 centimeters long, we're going to fold it in half, and we're going to attach it onto the horizontal cord with a reverse lark's head knot plus half hitch. So start off with the reverse lark's head knot first. Take the right end, make a half hitch knot. Take the left end, make a half hitch knot. and then slide it to the left so that there's only a minimal amount of space left. I'd say this is about 1.5 inches of room on the left. Then after, we're going to take the second cord from the right as an anchor cord for a double half-hitch knot. The top right cord as a working cord. Make a double half-hitch knot to the left, sorry, to the right. Then bring the anchor cord over to the left for a double half-hitch knot. So using the same anchor cord and working cord, make sure your knots are nice and tight. Consistent tension is key when it comes to making nice neat knots. Then we're going to take the far right end over to the left for 2 double half-hitch knots to the left. So starting with the first one, over through the right. I like to make sure my first half-hitch is nice and tight and neat before I finish off the second half-hitch for this double half-hitch knot. Then again, over through the right. Make sure this one's nice and snug though, so that it forms kind of like a small leaf shape. And once the first half hitch is good to go, make the second half hitch to finish off that double half hitch knot. So we've made our 2 double half hitch knots back to the left. Using the same anchor cord, bring it over to the right for another 2 double half hitch knots. Over and through the left. Over through the left. Over through the left. And then, similar to what we've done before, we're now going to make a small U. So, double half hitch knot to the right. Double half hitch knot back to the left. And then we're just gonna finish off this last row, far right cord over to the left for 2 double half hitch knots. Okay, so we finished off the second one. Now using the same anchor cord, we're going to start our next section. So we've made 2 already. You're going to make 2 more. Once we're done, this is what the pattern looks like. How we're going to seal them together is we're going to cut off the excess cords at the end, and then we're gonna glue the sides together so that they have 4 corners like this. And then also when you glue the sides together, it's gonna naturally shape downwards like this, so it looks like a layer of the tree. So now that we've finished 1 pattern of these, we're going to make 2 more exactly the same. So we're going to come back to this video once we have made a total of 3 of these. Once done, here are 3 separate layers of the tree. We are going to put this together right after we finish making the stem of the tree. So for the stem of the tree, I'm using a different color. This is our coffee brown colored cord. And we're going to need 2 different cord lengths. So one is slightly longer at 65 centimeters long, and then one is slightly shorter at 45 centimeters long. And I'm placing the shorter one vertically, longer one horizontally. Really doesn't matter if you switch it up, since what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be making several crown knots. Now, you do want to put the vertical cord towards the center of the horizontal cord, so we're gonna just match up the ends to make sure that's appropriate, and I'm also gonna match up the vertical ends to make sure we're about center as well. So we are good, and now we can get started with the knot. So first things first, we're going to take the top cord end down, right cord end over, bottom up, and then left through the loop. Then now, to tighten, take the 2 ends on the sides, and we're just going to pull them together, and then we're going to start sliding, tightening cords. Now you do want to make sure that after you've tightened all sides that we're still about even with the ends. If not, this side's a little bit longer, so I'm just gonna adjust the cord so that both ends are even. So this is even now. Let's match these ends. This is slightly longer, so I'm just going to, okay. And voila. And then now we're going to repeat the same thing. So starting with the top cord down, right cord over, bottom cord up, left cord through the loop at the top, and then again pull on all 4 ends to tighten. And we have now made 2 crown knots. We're going to make a total of 7. So we're going to make 5 more. I'm going to show you once more, and then you can make 4 more on your own. Make 4 more crown knots, and then we'll come back when that's done. Once you're done with the 7 total crown knots, this is what it should look like. And this is going to form the tree stump. So now that we have all of our knotted patterns, we're now going to put it all together. So we're going to start by trimming off the excess cords from the tree layers and then gluing the sides together. So here is the glue gun I'll be using. And so we're going to start by cleaning up the cord ends here. We're just going to make sure that all the knots are, of course, tight. We're going to snip off the excess. We're just going to leave a little bit, so to be careful not to cut too close to the knots. So we have a little bit left. And then I'm also going to cut the anchor cords as well. So once we've cut, this is what the ends should look like. And then now we're gonna dab a bit of glue on the sides so that the sides are sealed together nicely. Now I should have left a little bit more because you can see that there's a little bit of space in between the leaves, as I would call this. That's okay, we can just dab a bit of glue there. And then on top, and then you can just seal them like so. When you push the sides together here, it's going to want to curve downwards like so to form like a dome-like shape, which is what we want because we are making a tree. So we do like the dome-like shape. I try to not be too messy with the glue so you can't see it from up top. So working from the back is a good way to do this. And I also want to tuck those cord ends at the back as well, those loose ends. So I'm just going to have a bit of glue, but then also I'm gonna try and push them through to the back, or at least push them together so that they don't stick out too far in the center. Okay, I think that pretty much does it. Now it kind of resembles the leaf patterns all around. The ultimate goal here is to not be able to tell which sides the glue is sealing the sides together. So unless you look up close, you can't really tell. And now we're gonna repeat the same thing with the rest of the two green patterns. Okay, once all three sections are glued together, you have three little dome-like patterns. We're going to be stacking them together. I'm gonna alternate the leaves of the pattern, like so. This is what they're gonna look like for the mini tree, and then we're gonna thread our stump through them. So to start, we are going to take the stump. We're going to split them into two groups of 2 cords each. Then starting with the first group and the bottom layer, you see how there's a tiny little hole in between the leaves. We're going to be threading them through the holes there. So turning the pattern upside down, take 2 cord ends. I know one is shorter, one's longer, but match up the ends, and then thread them through that hole. You should be able to push them through. And then if you don't have sharp nails or long nails like I do, and you need help with this part, you can use a pair of tweezers if you have any to bring the cords through, or a weaving needle or a crochet hook. Those will help too, or just something to push the cords through. So we have one side through, and then now we're going to take the other side and we're going to thread it through the opposite side. Same hole, opposite side. So we try to do it the opposite sides of each other, making sure we don't do it on the side that's glued because there's probably no hole there since we glued it shut. So do the other sides that are not glued. Okay, once pulled through, tighten up both sides. And then this is what it looks like so far with the one layer. Kind of looks like a mini palm tree. in a way. And then now we're gonna do the same thing with the next section. I'm gonna use... Now for the next layer, because we want it to sit alternating instead of having it stacked the same way, we're not going to thread them through the same hole. Now, what we're going to do is, with the shorter end, we're going to weave it through one of the leaves. And then take the opposite one, opposite shorter end, thread it through the opposite leaf. And then take the longer ends and we're going to push them up through the center. So center hole, push them through up here. Okay. So once you do have to maneuver, adjust the cords. Then once we're here, split the longer cord ends in half. And then with the shorter ends, we're gonna tie a double overhand knot. And this is what the tree looks like so far. We've added our second layer. And we've also used up our shorter cord ends for the tree. And now we can snip off the excess with the shorter ends of the stump. So just cut it enough, leave a little bit for extra security. Just cut enough so that it is hidden underneath the top layer. If you want even more security, you can dab a bit of glue here, but all we're left with is the top layer. And with the top layer, it's super easy. We're just taking the two longer cord ends, we're weaving it through the middle. We're going to settle it though, so that it is sitting in between that second layer, like so. This is what it looks like. Now to secure that top layer in place, we're going to thread the two brown cord ends through our star bead. Now you may need some tape for this if you do have frayed ends. You don't have to add too much tape because then it'll become too thick. I'm just gonna cut off some of the excess. And then what we're gonna do, thread the bead through, make sure we know which way the star should face. So this is the right way. We're gonna push it through. Okay, it is finally through. Okay, this is what the little star looks like. Now I can take the tape off. And then last but not least, make an overhand knot at the top with the two cord ends. Now, depending on how big of a handle you want this, if you don't want to waste any cord, just make it towards the top. And then snip off the excess. And we are now done with this cute little Christmas tree ornament. And that's a wrap with our cute little mini 3D Christmas tree ornament. This was a special one because we combined various macrame knotting techniques into a little 3D tree. A lot of times you can take a 2D pattern, add more layers to it to create a 3D design. And that is exactly what I did for this tree pattern. If you guys are in need of more grand, more intricate Christmas project ideas, We do have more over on our exclusive community on Patreon. If you're interested, head on over to patreon.com/BOCHIKNOT for more details. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this pattern in the comment section below, and let me know what other macrame Christmas projects you guys want to see. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.